Welcome to Bangla City SATV News. This is Shivala Alam with our headlines. Law Minister placed appointment of Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners Bill 2022 in Parliament today. Prime Minister asked police personnel to discharge duties with utmost professionalism and uphold democracy, inaugurates Police Week 2022. Education Minister's talk with SUST students ended without decision. Students committed to continue protest until VC resigned. The appointment of the Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioner Bill 2022 was placed today in Parliament in order to have a law in this regard as per the Constitution. Law Minister Anisul Haq placed the draft law which was sent to the Parliament by Standing Committee on the respective ministry for scrutiny. The committee was submitted before the House within 7 days. BNP MP Harunur Rashid strongly opposed the bill, saying that the proposed law is nothing but a search committee bill and didn't reflect the views of civil society and political parties. Harun also said there is nothing new in the proposed bill. However, the law minister rejected Harun's concerns, saying the proposed law was enacted in line with the constitution. While giving reply, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was seen giving instruction repeatedly to the law minister, helping him in giving a befitting reply. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina asked police personnel to discharge their duties with utmost professionalism and uphold democracy in the country, apart from maintaining peace and stability. Sheikh Hasina also said that while inaugurating the Police Week 2022 from January 23rd to 27, the Premier believes every police personnel will perform his or her duties with professionalism to maintain peace and stability in the country and uphold democracy through pro-people policing. The program was held at Rajarbagh police lines in the capital, while the Prime Minister joined it virtually from her official residence, Ganabhavan. Sheikh Hasina said that the long 24 years of struggle, a father of the nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and the win in the Liberation War in 1971 has brought this independence for the country. The virtual meeting of Education Minister Dr. Dipu Moni with the protesting students of Shahjala University of Science and Technology ended without a decision, since the students refused to break their hunger strike in response to the minister's call. Students told the minister that they wouldn't stop protest until the VC resigned. The virtual meeting was held on Sunday at the IICT building on campus in presence of a delegation from the Bangladesh Awami League. After the meeting, a spokesperson for the protesters told the press that the minister has requested the students submit their complaints in written form as soon as possible. Before, on Saturday, the minister held a meeting with a delegation of 5 teachers from SUST. The Supreme Court today extended for 2 weeks its earlier directive, saying that 2 children, Nakano Jasmine Malika and Nakano Laila Lina, who were brought from Japan to Bangladesh in February last year, will stay with their mother, Japanese national Eriko Nakano. A full bench of the Appellate Division of the Supreme Court, headed by Justice Muhammad Nur Zaman, passed the order during hearing a petition filed by Eriko challenging a High Court verdict on this issue and seeking custody of her children. The Apex Court also fixed February 6 for hearing the petition. Justice Muhammad Nur Zaman said that the case should be heard by the bench headed by the Chief Justice. Viewers are taking a short break. Stay with Bangla City SATV News. Welcome back. You're watching Bangla City SATV News. Now we bring you the international story updates. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has pledged to continue his discreet diplomacy for resolving the Afghan crisis, repeating his appeal for a conditional release of Afghanistan's frozen funds. The United States froze nearly $7 billion of Afghan assets in the New York Federal Reserve soon after the Taliban captured Kabul in August 2021. Since then, organizations and individuals in both the United States and Europe have been urged urging Washington to unfreeze the funds. Meanwhile, human rights and the humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan will be in focus at talks opening Sunday in Oslo between the Taliban and the West and members of Afghan civil society. The Taliban will meet Norwegian officials as well as representatives of the US, France, Britain, Germany, Italy and European Union. The Taliban delegation will be led by Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi. The British national held in Iran for 4.5 years on spying charges vehemently denied by supporters in beginning a hunger strike to protest his situation and lack of pressure to secure his release, his family announced on Saturday. Anousheh Ashuri, who holds British and Iranian passports, in one of over a dozen foreign nationals detained in Iran who activists argue are held as hostages in a bid to extract concession from the West. He was arrested during a visit to Iran in August 2017 and then jailed to 10 years on charges of spying, an accusation rubbished by his family. Britain on Saturday alleged that it had information that Moscow was looking to install a pro-Russian leader. The Kyiv fears of Russian invasion of Ukraine grow. Tensions have soared in recent weeks as tens of thousands of Russian troops mass on Ukraine's border along with an arsenal of tanks, fighting vehicles, artillery and missiles. London said it had seen evidence that several former Ukrainian politicians had maintained links with Russian intelligence services. A US official called for the alleged plot deeply concerning. However, Moscow dismissed the claims as disinformation and urged London to stop spreading nonsense. Turkish has detained well-known journalist Sedef Kabas for allegedly insulting the country's president Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Kabas has arrested on Saturday in Istanbul and a court ordered her to be jailed ahead of her trial. She is accused of targeting President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and a proverb which she quoted on live television on an opposition-linked TV channel. She denies the charge. The charge carries a prison sentence of between 1 and 4 years. Meanwhile, the Saudi-led coalition denied carrying out an airstrike on a prison in Yemen's rebel-held north that killed at least 70 people, including migrants, women and children. The attack, which coincided with the coalition strike on the Yemeni port of Hodeidah that killed 3 children and knocked out the impoverished country's internet, was condemned by the UN Secretary-General. Besides, Iran says strikes have made the path to achieve a just peace in the country even more difficult. Peru declared an environmental emergency to battle an oil spill caused by freak waves from a volcanic eruption in the South Pacific. The stunningly powerful eruption last Saturday of an undersea volcano near Tonga unleashed tsunami waves around the Pacific as far as in the US. In Peru, the oil spill near Lima has founded beaches, killed birds and harmed the fishing and tourism industries. Meanwhile, in its 90-day decree, the government said it plans sustainable management of 21 beaches tarred by 6,000 barrels of oil. Country's Environment Ministry said 174 hectares equivalent to 270 football fields of sea, beaches and natural reserves were affected by the spill. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has postponed her wedding as the nation imposes new restrictions to slow the community spread of the Omicron coronavirus variant. The restrictions will go into effect on Monday. The Prime Minister was rumored to be planning to marry her longtime partner, fishing show host Clark Kayford, eminently separate. About 93% of New Zealanders aged 12 and over are fully vaccinated and 52% have had a booster shot. The country has just begun vaccinating children aged between 5 and 11. It will be another year before a new Mission Impossible movie in theaters. Paramount Pictures and Skydance announced that the release of Mission Impossible 7 will be pushed from September 20th to July 14, 2023. Mission Impossible 8, previously set for release in July 2023, had opened on June 28, 2024. It is the latest setback for a pair of blockbusters that have been much delayed by the pandemic. Shooting on Mission Impossible 7 was put on hiatus in early 2020 because of COVID-19. Filming on the action series starring Tom Cruise has delayed 4 times in Italy and 3 times in the UK. The stoppages were caused by positive coronavirus tests among members of the cast or crew, or quarantine or lockdowns imposed in countries where Thriller was being filmed. Now sports news. Indian former doubles world number 1 Sania Mirza said she will retire from tennis at the end of the season, with injuries taking her toll. It came after the 35-year-old, regarded as her country's greatest women tennis player, bowed out to the Australian Open in the first round with her partner Nadia Kishenok of Ukraine. Mirza, who has won 6 Grand Slam doubles titles, is paired with America's Rajiv Ram in the mixed doubles at the Australian Open. They play on Thursday in the first round. Defending champions Bangladesh triumph in a winner-takes-all game as they beat the UAE by 9 wickets via the DL method in a rain-interrupted match to reach the quarter-finals of the Under-19 World Cup. Bangladesh's bowlers worked in tandem in restrictions the United Arab Emirates to 148. Dhruv Parashar and captain Alishan Sharafu then combined to steady the ship for the UAE, putting on 44 runs for the 3rd wicket. Chasing 148, Bangladesh made a commanding start, reaching 86 before losing their first wicket. Mashfejul was able to reach his half-century as the teams emerged as a new target of 107, the opener eventually reaching 64 not out as Prantik Nauroz Nabil joined him in the middle as they sealed the victory and safe passage to knockout stages. Bangladesh will be hoping to repeat the final last time out when they face India in the quarter-final on January 29. Bangladesh's women's cricket team cruised to a 9-wicket win over Scotland in their penultimate group match of the Commonwealth Games Women Cricket Qualifiers on Saturday, after being asked to first being Bangladesh bowl Scotland out for 77 in 17.3 overs, with Salma Khatun, Soraya Azmin, Nahida Akhtar and Sanjida Altar all getting 2 wickets each. Morshida Khatun's unbeaten 50 of 55 deliveries and 20 not out from Fargana Haq then saw the Tigresses coast to the victory target for the loss of only Shamima Sultana's 0 wicket in 15.2 overs. The Tigresses will meet Sri Lanka in the last match on the campaign, with the winners of the game qualifying for the Commonwealth Games in 2022. Before ending, we go to the Euro-Bangla City SATV News headlines again. Law Minister placed appointment of the Chief Election Commissioner and Election Commissioners Bill 2022 in Parliament today. Prime Minister asked police personnel to discharge duties with utmost professionalism and uphold democracy, inaugurates Police Week 2022. Education Minister talk with SUST students ended without decision. Students committed to continue protest until VC resigned. We're up to date so far here on Euro-Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satvtv. Stay with SATV.